here on stream, we are going to hop over to our next topic. And we're going from a team who may be on the decline to a team who is 1000% on the up. But I think some of us here on the pod, we think that they might be jumping the gun a little bit. And I'm not exactly sure what these expectations should be. And the team we're talking about here is Oklahoma City. Last season, they showed a lot of good flashes, made the play-in tournament. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was playing at the highest level he's ever played at. And they had a lot of guys step up big. J-Dub was a great rookie. Jay Will, roster whole top to bottom, a lot of good pieces. This season, they added Chet Holmgren, who could be another big needle mover for them. And some people are placing very lofty expectations here. So I know you had a lot to say about this, JELSON. I'm going to hop it off to you. What should be the realistic expectation for OKC, and what do you envision for them this season?
I like a lot of players on OKC, and when it comes to the regular season, I mean, they probably will make the playoffs, or at least I sure hope they do, because that is what everybody's expectations. It seems like that they will make the playoffs, and not just a play-in, where last year they got destroyed by my Timberwolves, where it was not a close competition at all. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not perform in that play-in game. And with all due respect, I have my own opinions about Shai that I've shared previously, but I'll get into here in a second. But this team does have Chet coming and playing in a technical rookie season, so he's going to come and provide value to this team. I think they're a borderline playoff team where if they are in the play-in, I think they do make the playoffs as 7 or 8 seed, obviously. So, but when it comes to SGA, his style of basketball in the regular season works like a charm. We've seen it last year. Fantastic season at SGA. Playoffs, I don't see how it works. The foul baiting does not work in the playoffs as well as it does in the regular season, as teams know exactly what they're doing, and refs are a lot more stingy about the foul calls that they end up making. And SGA, perfect example of this is James Harden. We just talked about James Harden, and James Harden for the longest time, maybe not so much in his career currently, but in the past, he was known as a high tendency foul baiter that ended up not really making it far in the playoffs. I mean, not making it all the way to where he wants to be in the playoffs. Think about Joel Embiid, a playoff dropper to this point, a foul baiter. These guys that are known as free throw merchants on the internet typically don't play well in the playoffs when it comes to team success. There are exceptions, of course, but I think SGA falls into that tier where I'm just not sure how his play style ends up winning them a championship or ends up bringing them anywhere far. But the player that I think will bring them that far, if they end up making that far, will be Josh Giddey. A player that does not rely on an offensive skill set of pure scoring, but a guy that is a very smart basketball player that knows how to make the right move. If SGA is having an off night, he's not afraid to not pass it to him and pass it to the next guy. Isaiah Joe, sharpshooter. We can talk about him later. I know you guys know all about him, and the fans know about Isaiah Joe, a real sharpshooter, one of the best shooters in the league. Josh Giddey's not afraid to pass it to J-Dub, get him a bucket. He's not just going to pass it to SGA because he's a superstar player and may demand the ball. Josh Giddey wants what's best for the team. So if this team's going far or anywhere at all in the playoffs or making the playoffs, it relies on Josh Giddey, in my opinion.
Can I just say, let me start off by saying that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is overrated, bro. A lot of y'all are saying how he's better than Devin Booker. Oh, first of all, he is a shooting guard. He's not a PG. He is a shooting guard. So let's not, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of a conversation about what position he plays. He's a shooting guard. First of all. Second of all, he's not better than Devin Booker. Stop that. And I think, I don't think OKC's making the playoffs this year. I don't think there's any reason to consider them a playoff lock. I mean, the West is going to be a dogfight, and I'm not going to lie, they might have got better. The West might have got better because we already know the Lakers are going to be better than them. I got the Dallas Mavericks being better than them. The Timberwolves for sure. Yes, sir, JELSON. I got the Suns, the Kings being better than them. The Grizzlies, the Nuggets. I mean, it goes on and on and on, bro. I don't see the OKC being a playoff lock per se, but I do like a lot of the young talent that they have in the squad. Jelson brought up Isaiah Joe, absolute dead-eye shooter. Need that to space the floor. Josh Giddey, you know what I'm saying? A white LaMelo Ball. I mean, he is so crafty when it comes to setting up his teammates and playmaking. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously, he is phenomenal in the mid-range and foul baiting. But like you said, that doesn't necessarily translate to the playoffs. And the mid-range shot, having that be your main thing, we have yet to see that be successful in the postseason as well. We know the defense tighten up, the game slows down, it's hard to get to your spots. But Shai is one of the bigger guards. He's very strong and very lengthy. So that we may be able to see that change in the future. Chet coming back. They absolutely needed a rim protector, and Chet is so skilled for his size. I'm really excited to see him with OKC and how they integrate him into their system. J-Dub and Jason Williams, both phenomenal players. And who I'm really excited to see Cason Wallace, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he's way too good to be a backup point guard, first of all, but he's going to be phenomenal playing pressure free with all those dynamic players around him. I think OKC's biggest problem right now is having too much young talent, but hey, it's better to have too much than not at all.
I think at least for OKC, being a playoff lock, I don't know if they will be, but I think that they realistically could make a jump similar to what we saw of Sacramento this past year, Memphis the year before, Denver like a couple years before that. And so I think especially if they're up there, like let's say they're like a top 4, top 5 seed, I feel like at least for Shai, he's definitely going to get MVP consideration. I mean, probably if he's that high, they might put him like top 3 in MVP, honestly. But I feel like for me, I feel like they will probably be a top 6 seed. Maybe I'm a little bit more high on them. But I just feel like usually these teams, you know, when they get so close, and I know you mentioned like JELSON, yeah, they lost in the play-in pretty badly to your Wolves. But usually over the past couple of years, that's kind of the play-in has been the growing pain that's helped you know, these younger teams blossom into bigger and better things. And I think at least for OKC, when we already know Josh Giddey is going to get better, they still got Lou Dort, Chet's going to be there. So, and obviously young guys too on the bench, like Isaiah Joe, who I've always been really high on. I feel like personally, you could argue he was one of the best 3-point shooters in the league last year. And then Aaron Wiggins too. So I don't know if they're a playoff lock. I feel like if they had a really good season, though, I could see them being like, honestly, they could be the 3rd seed. They could. It's possible. It's possible.
That's a little glazed.
Hey, you're kind of glazing, bro.
How many wins do you think that is? Just like how many wins? How many wins get you the 3rd seed?
That has to be like 51.
3rd seed will probably be like 52 wins.
52.
That's a little crazy, bro.
I just don't. I've said this last stream is Denver and Phoenix, I think, are for sure the top 2. And now everything else can kind of change. And I feel like especially if they take the regular season more to heart than more veteran teams like the Clippers or the Lakers or the Warriors, then I could see them finishing as a 3rd seed. I think realistically, they'll probably finish like 6. I think they will avoid the play-in this year. But I think they're going to make somewhat of a jump. And, yeah, I mean, personally for me, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are just expecting them to be bad again just because a lot of these, you know, veteran-esque teams are, you know, like they were kind of lower in the seeding, I guess, last year than maybe people thought. But there's also teams that are up there like Memphis, like Sacramento, that either were really healthy or Memphis, like you're going to be without your best player for like a third of the year. So you got to consider that. And I just feel like that they'll be a better team. I think that they'll probably be they'll at least win like 45 games next year, I think.
So how I feel about the Thunder is I feel like it's not fair because everybody was so big on this Thunder team, and then Shai been playing like a star, and then there's just random agendas that, oh, Shai's better than Devin Booker, Shai's better than this, Shai's better than that. And ever since like those stuff come out, everybody's saying, oh, Shai's overrated, this and that. Those are like it just sucks because like this OKC team and Shai, they're just having fun, they're doing their thing. And why the fuck are we dumbasses and saying Shai's already better than Devin Booker or just better than this? Like, why is the media even getting into that stupid shit? Like, let's just be honest. Like, let's stop that. I don't think Shai's overrated, but the reason why it makes it seem like he's overrated because there's people out there that he's acting like he's a top 5 player in the league. He's going to be in MVP conversations and this and that. He may be, but it's like, let's relax on him. The dude had an incredible year, made it to the play-in. Like, these agendas gotta stop getting thrown out there so fucking quick. As soon as a player has one good season, oh, he's better than LeBron James. Oh, he's better than Giannis. Let's relax. Let's see the consistency. Let's see the growth. Don't get me wrong. Shai has improved every single season since the Clippers from joining OKC. He was on the Clippers team, which he was a young guy. They didn't know what they got out of him till now. The dude's a star in this league. You get what I'm trying to say? So, but with the OKC team alone, I think easily they did get better just because of the fact Chet's back. Chet's going to be a huge improvement. Huge improvement. Even if he struggles on the offensive end, on the defense end, he's going to make a difference. They had J. Will, or I get confused with the J Dubs and stuff like that. The other Jalen dude. He is not that great. When you put Chet there, who is one better offensively, who is just going back and forth against KD and these scrimmage runs, and defensively, he's going to be there. This OKC team is going to be nice. Like you said, Cason Wallace is another pickup. No one expected J-Dub to play this good. The dude looked like a damn, all-star role player out there near the end of the season, right? Josh Giddey's a walking triple-double. And Shai's just doing Shai things. So they got all the pieces. My thing about the Oklahoma City Thunder is that when is it time to trade these picks? Are we going to continue to keep drafting these young players? Because like you said, Jay, Cason Wallace is too good to just be coming off the bench and being a backup point guard in this game. There's no way you're going to start him, and there's no way you're going to start pretty much there's no way you're going to start him. You got Shai, you got Giddey. So what are you going to is he your 6-man role? Like, what are we doing? And then don't forget, you got J-Dub. So there's a lot of different type of players there. Now, don't get me wrong, they're a little bit taller. Like Giddey is can play more than just the 1. You can play the 2 and stuff like that. So can J-Dub. But when are we going to start trading these picks? We need to add a star to Shai. We need to add that because we're not just going to keep drafting all these 40 first-round picks and 10 second-round picks they got. It just doesn't make too much sense to me. So I think this year they finally get into the playoffs. And when I say playoffs, I think they're a playing team, but they actually win their playoff matchup, which is improvement. Get in that first round, depending on who they play, most likely will lose, or maybe they get an upset depending on seedings and stuff like that. And then next season, that's where you have to make the move for, okay, we're ready to compete and we're ready to add a star to this team. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think with that and trading the picks, I really feel like they're probably waiting for a guy in Shai's timeline to become available for a trade. And with that, it's the guys you hear of the common example is probably Zion wanting out of New Orleans, which I still think is its own complete kind of conversation to get into. But I think somebody like that becoming available, and that just doesn't happen every day. So I do think sooner or later they're going to have to cash it in for something, even if it's not that top level, because like you're saying, it's going to end up just going to waste. There's only so many roster spots available. What I want to ask you guys is more about Shai specifically. And I know a lot of us are saying, okay, we're starting unfair agendas he's not that good. Conversations with Devin Booker are weird. It's not really just fans on Twitter. We have to remember this guy made All-NBA first team. So it's a lot more than just people on Twitter that are pushing him to be this level of player. So if he really is getting that kind of accolade, do we think it's unfair to put such expectations on him to perform like an All-NBA first team level player? Because let's be honest, most of those guys are in the playoffs.
Can I answer that question?
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like yes, because great example. And I'm not saying Shai is going to be this at all, but there is people that have a really good year where they get in the top MVP conversations. They played so well, they get in all NBA, right? Until we see this happen consecutively, like what D-Book has done, like these other superstars have done, then we could put them in the conversation. It's only 1 year. It's only 1 year. That's it. It's only 1 year. So now if Shai comes out next year and does the same shit, okay, now there's a conversation, right? Because that's back-to-back years where he's giving you 30 points. It ain't easy to make all first team. It's not. So if you continue to keep doing it consecutively, and then if he hits it the third season, and when I say third season, this is the first year where they put him in the All NBA, right? Then the second season, then the third season, then that's when you start comparing. But like, why Devin Booker done this shit? These other players, they're constantly doing it. So that's why I think it's unfair, because now we're in these topics. He's overrated. He's not overrated. This is just, I think he gets better. I think he gets better, especially with Chet being there. I think that offense is going to be rolling crazy. We're going to see some pick and rolls, pick and pop. We're going to see some crazy shit. So,
I agree. I think that Shea needs the multiple season progression and the multiple season showing of being this top tier guy, which of course we've seen that he's been great, or a star for a while, but now we're seeing that superstar type of leap. Do I see him making first team All NBA next year? Absolutely not. Simply because I think a lot of his stats will go down scoring wise. I think there's going to be a better system in place, just trying to capitalize on all these players that are young but improving, and they want to. And we know this, that if you want to make a deep playoff run and be successful in the regular season, you need to be more resourceful with the players you have, and you can't just run everything through SGA all the time and expect him to do everything. So he very well could make first team All NBA. I don't think he will. We have to think about other guys that are also improving, because SGA took that leap, but there's going to be guys that are making this leap this year. And my first example, we talk about the players getting compared to SGA, and that is Anthony Edwards. And I think there's a very good case that maybe Anthony Edwards makes that leap to become a first-team All-NBA type of talent. Not saying 100% he will, but there will be more competition. We have young guys that are coming in. Tyrese Halliburton, we don't know what he's going to be quite yet. Maybe next year he takes that jump too. We have these young guys, and LaMelo Ball even. I mean, we have these guys that are playing the same position as him, that are going to get better, that may take that jump and may take that first team All NBA from SGA himself.
De'Aaron Fox too.
For sure.
And then I even feel like if he just makes All NBA 2 or 3, like, okay, like, but like, it's just only one season. Let's relax. What if he falls off? Like, what if he falls off? I don't think he will, because each year he has improved dramatically. Each single seat, so let's stop comparing him to Devin Booker. Let's stop doing all these crazy agendas. I get what everybody's saying, he's overrated because he's getting compared to these players, but I'm not going to call him overrated, because it's something.
Even if other guys progress and like he drops to say 27.5 points per game,
still great.
That's still a couple point drop, but it's like if he's giving me an efficient 27.5, like I'm not upset with that at all. And especially if that means, J-Dub scoring more. Obviously, Chet, if he takes on an offensive load, then, I mean, that's just going to take away some touches from Shea that maybe were more open for him because other guys were less proven. If there's some stat drop, but their winning goes up, I can't be mad at him at all, even if that were to drop him to like a second, third team level, or maybe just barely missing. I think as far as like all-star goes, he's damn near a lock for that, even as a Western Conference guard. I think his play and his production mixed with his popularity there will put him in there. I think the last thing I want to ask you guys on this is if they somehow ended up being like a play-in team again and fell out, and things still look to be kind of on the uptick, and I guess you see some progression, but they don't end up playing playoff basketball next year. Is that a disappointment to you guys, or do you think that's just a part of the growing pains?
I feel like there's growing pains.
Hey, I see, look, it's weird, and that's a very good question, because look, technically this is Chet's first season, right? This is his first season with this roster. We already seen the roster without Chet, so our expectations right now is like, okay, you got to make that playoff push. But we also still got to realize, like, Chet got to find his way into, like, the system that they already have and all. That means Jalen, J-Dub's going to get less attempts. Josh Giddey's going to get less attempts. Like, a lot of players are going to have to not switch their style of play. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, like, they got to figure it out. So I think it's going to be on the coaching. And I think they got a great head coach over there. I cannot pronounce his name. So I think everything's going to be fine. But, like, I think it kind of will, because I feel like it's like this. Even with all that, it's like, okay, OKC's like, yo, OKC has the brightest future. OKC. We keep saying that every single year. And then every single year, it's like, oh, they just missed out on the playoffs. Nah, next year, they're going to be crazy good. The year comes, they just missed out on the playoffs. So there's a point in time where it's just like, okay, so when is this team going to make that leap? If you look at, like, when is this team going to make that leap, and what are they going to do? And this is when Sam Presti's like, okay, nigga, we got to get somebody here to help Shea, because Shea ain't going to be – I don't know if Shea is going to be there forever after his contract. Who knows? So,
I mean, I think
it's
it
tough.
just all comes down to in my opinion, first of all, with all due respect to you OKC fans, y'all need to chill out, bro. Because if you guys miss the playoffs this year, there's going to be some nasty work on X.com. And I don't call it X, but it's going to be nasty work, bro. Because y'all talk some crazy talk for a team that lost in the play-in and got destroyed by the Timberwolves. But y'all want to say some crazy stuff about my squad? Respectfully, Thunder fans, y'all need to watch it. Because if you miss the playoffs,
Timberwolves are top 6 seed easily this year. Fuck you talking about, man.
I sure hope so.
Easily is a little glazed.
I do think easily is a bit of a stretch, but I think they've got a solid roster. They got a solid roster. But hey,
I love
we can
I
get
don't know where the
any
Rudy
time.
Gobert love came from, Trent.
I love it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I fuck with the Timberwolves. I fuck with them.
All right.
Bro, Mike
Ant.
Conley. I fuck
Ant
with
cool.
Conley. Ant MVP. Nigga, they're gonna have a Jaden McDaniels fully fucking healthy. The best fucking
DPOY next to Rudy.
backs. They brought Nas Reed back. They just drafted that young rookie over there. Carlton Towns gonna be healthy. Rudy's gonna be good. Yo, this team gonna be fine, bro. Let's just stay healthy. Fuck the coach, though. That nigga's dog shit.
Hey, Kyle Anderson will be slower than ever this year, and it'll be fantastic.
Oh, I don't know about all that,
wait.
gentlemen, but hey, Jay, actually, you go ahead.
Oh, hold on. I just got one question, Jelson. How are you gonna feel when Rudy Gobert pulls up with his first three, bro?
Dude, I might. No, he shot a 3 last year and airballed it. Like no joke.
That's
It was like
horrible.
there was
Taking
like
3
18
games this year.
Dude, it was like 18 seconds left in the shot clock, wide open from top of the key, pulled it wide right.
Nah, that's terrible. If he can figure that out, they might have a bit of a squad. But let us know what you think about both them and OKC in chat or down in the comments below if you are watching this in the future. Keep rocking with us here on stream, though, because we have a couple more good topics for y'all. Trent, looks like you got something to get off.
Yo, look it. I think Cat gets traded this trade deadline. The reason why I say that, they just drafted that dude. I forgot his name. Leonard Miller. But not only that, Jaden McDaniels, hopefully I didn't get trolled on Twitter. He got taller, I believe.
Yep. He grew 2 inches.
He got taller. So you know what I'm doing? I'm putting him at the 4. I'm putting Rudy at the 5. I'm shipping Cat, and I'm putting pieces on that Timberwolves team. And then everybody going to talk about the Rudy and Cat is not there no more because now you got a DPOY at your 4 position.
And 5 position.
Bro, he was DPOY like 5 years ago, bro. He's not him anymore. Stop, bro.
I'm just saying. I'm pushing the agenda for the Minnesota Timberwolves. When they trade Cat and get a bunch of pieces to team up with Ant, okay.
All right. You know what it sounds like? Whoever wins key holder at the end of this stream, man, we might have to start talking about Western Conference seeding predictions real soon because it's looking like we're gonna have a lot to talk about if we do that. There might be a lot to get into there.